Following the parliamentary elections in France over the weekend, we can now confirm that the country is in more trouble than we even thought at the beginning. It's not just the rise of the far left, ordinary far left, because of the arrangements behind the scenes, despite the fact that National Rally and Marine Le Pen managed to get more votes. But these guys, the New Popular Front, managed to get more seats. Clearly, the electoral system in France needs massive reforms, but a number of very dodgy individuals have managed to enter the French Assembly and Parliament. This fellow is Raphael Arnault, the French Antifa leader, who has been actually classified as a state threat by security services. He's been elected as a member of parliament in France now. The same man who was on a watch list of Emmanuel Macron's government and security services has managed to somehow get approved and get elected. On the one hand, we have to question this, of course, the vetting, the security services. On the other hand, we must also question the local voters in that constituency that didn't really check who he actually was, or maybe they did and they didn't care. Maybe they wanted this. The situation is continuing to get worse in France, as we've seen the far left, the so-called anti-fascist activists, 8 of them, under investigation now because they targeted a child. This is the level of absolute chaos we are seeing now from the left-wingers. And again, the mainstream corporate media in France, in the UK, in America, CNN, all the BBC World types of news channels, they're not reporting on any of this. We are having massive problems. These members, of course, attacked a young man, and they're suspected of being a member of the Jewish Defense League. So they thought, oh, well, he's a Jew, so we're going to have to attack him just because he's a Jew. And that's what's happening now. On the streets of France and Paris, they're marching around saying, Jews, you're no longer welcome here, you must leave France, after the election that they had over the weekend. According to the prosecutor's office, the attack took place on the 27th of May in Paris. A 15-year-old boy, a passenger on Metro Line 2, was approached in the evening at Victor Hugo station by a group who questioned him about his relationship with Palestine. A child. Then they said he's a Jew and he's part of the Jewish Defense League, and of course then they continued the harassment. These are the people who call themselves anti-fascists. You see the irony in that. Now, if I were Emmanuel Macron, despite political differences and everything else, he's still the president of the country. He's the head of state. He needs to get his act together now.